In the top stories, Tourism Authority wraps up celebrations for Inter-Caribbean Airways' inaugural flight to St. Kitts. Students enlightened on careers in energy sector, and man charged for rape and kidnapping. The details to these stories and more after the break.
In cricket, there are a few essentials. A bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Are you into the agricultural industry? Do you want the funds to grow your business? Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans is launching the $20 million agricultural fund. All you need to apply is your ID, proof of address, and 2 references, and you will receive the funding to get the equipment, tools, products, staffing, and services to grow your business. Plus, you pay nothing down. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and convenient hassle-free service. Don't hesitate. Apply today at www.readyfinancecaribbean.com or call 662-9268 or 466-1640. Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans. Every day we help businesses succeed.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. To culminate the inaugural flight celebrations of Inter-Caribbean Airways between St. Kitts and Barbados, the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, in collaboration with Inter-Caribbean and the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, hosted a promotion event at Hilton Barbados Resort. According to the Tourism Authority, the event provided an opportunity to market and promote the Federation to various travel and tour operators. With the introduction of this new service, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Marsha Henderson, shared that, quote, re-establishing strong regional connectivity is paramount to the success of tourism markets across the Caribbean, end quote.
After years of constant discussion, we are absolutely delighted for the partnership that we have established between St. Kitts and Nevis Inter-Caribbean Airways and not airlines, as Trevor has said, and Barbados, reconnecting us to the rest of the Caribbean, expanding airlift to our beautiful island, specifically with Inter-Caribbean Airways, the new service that is between St. Kitts and Barbados, is in developing the tourism industry in St. Kitts, which has been our main economic driver for the islands since the official closure of the sugar industry in 2005. Re-establishing strong regional connectivity is paramount to the success of tourism and markets across the Caribbean.
The St. Kitts Tourism Authority says it has enforced a comprehensive marketing plan which aims to strengthen the destination's position to drive intra-regional travel to St. Kitts and Nevis. As the Federation seeks to capitalize on the growing energy sector, students are being encouraged to consider the prospects of this new industry. From being energy auditors to environmental consultants to energy lawyers, students from AVEC, that's the Advanced Vocational Education Center, the Nevis Sixth Form, and the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College were engaged in presentations and dialogue at the CUNA Caribbean Conference Room on Thursday, hoping to inspire students in the legal profession with a focus on environmental and energy laws. Curlin Merchant of Merchants Law Chambers explained how she came to specialize in energy law.
When I was at your stage, I always knew I wanted to be an attorney, so I would have left Sixth Form and actually gone straight to study law. However, at that time, energy law was not something which I had even considered. However, I would have returned from my studies and worked for a few years, and I worked at a law firm which worked on a wind farm project. So that first piqued my interest, seeing power purchase agreements, seeing different correspondence in relation to the energy sector. And then I was exposed to considerations in relation to what they call a waste to energy, which is where you convert garbage into energy. And that also piqued my interest. And I found a program at Primary University which focused on energy law and natural resource law. Now, I twinned the energy law with the natural resource law because as a small developing country, our natural resource is sometimes our greatest asset, and our focus is on renewable energy, which is based on natural resource.
Treville Baker, Assistant ICT Manager at the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, spoke of the company's use of ICT in the day-to-day operations.
Another system that we have, another technical system that we utilize at Skelett is called our SCADA system. Now, when I actually joined Skelett back in 2020, I was most excited about this system in particular. This is our live grid monitoring system. You know, imagine for instance, you're at home and you lost electricity. So you immediately pick up your phone, you call Skelett, and you say, hey, I'm in such and such area, and electricity is gone, power is out. And the operator is going to say, thank you for calling, but we are already aware of that. We already dispatched a technician. They wondering, how is it that they already know that electricity left and just like 10 seconds ago? The reason for that, because we actually have this live grid monitoring system that alerts our operators instantaneously, immediately, as the power outage takes place.
Meanwhile, Alfonso Ogaros, energy auditor and entrepreneur, spoke of his profession.
So the energy auditor basically is going to be like a service provider or a consultant who the decision makers would reach out to say, look, I want to be able to understand what is happening to my energy and why, how can I explain the cost of my energy. And so in a lot of cases, energy auditors are entrepreneurs, they're self-employed. And so I am talking to you now as somebody who is self-employed. And it is not as straightforward as going and reporting to a desk and doing your stuff, and then your bank account gets hit every month and you get the dollars rolling in. So it involves some selling of yourselves. It involves approaching prospective clients to assess the opportunities for earnings.
Environmentalist and consultant Mishak Alford reminded all to be mindful of the use of the environment and to maintain balance, and informed the students of more professions available in the sector. The Energy Fair has been described as an avenue to begin building capacity for the country's transition to a green economy. In other news, the police have arrested and charged a man from District A for rape and kidnapping. The police say he was charged on March 14. Due to the nature of the crime, the identity of the perpetrator has not been released. The offense was committed on the 13th of November 2022, and he has been remanded to His Majesty's prison. Consumers on Nevis are being urged to manage their water consumption and make every effort to conserve the resource, as the island's water supply is already being impacted by the dry season. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Water Services, Denzil Stanley, says it is important that all residents refrain from wasting water. He said Nevis is already experiencing the effects of reduced rainfall associated with the dry season, resulting in supply wells and other sources running low. He commended the Nevis Island administration for taking the necessary steps and making significant investment to increase the water storage capacity on the island, noting that, quote, every bit of water that we can have in storage is a plus for us, end quote. Mr. Stanley advised that it has become necessary for the Water Department to implement a water rationing schedule for some parts of the island. effective March 15, Spring Hill, Fountain, Westbury, Jones Estate, Mount Lily, Rollins, Upper Hamilton, Upper Morningstar, Beach Road, Upper Church Ground will be affected by the water management schedule between the hours of 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Speaking at a ceremony to commission a new 250,000-gallon water storage tank at Zetlands on the 13th of March, Minister with responsibility for water services, the Honorable Spencer Brand, also issued an urgent appeal for persons to conserve water. He also spoke of the NIA's intention to continue to explore for new sources of water in the short to medium term. After the break, Consumer Education for Kids program launched, and government officials strongly encouraged consumers to read and research before making purchases. Stay with us.
Here are your Horseman's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running March 9 to the 23rd.
Now your Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential everyday breadcrumbs, just $6.99. Essential everyday shredded and chunk cheeses, just $8.49. Essential everyday applesauce bowls, $11.99. Essential everyday instant puddings and gelatins, $4.49. Purex detergent, $14.99. Essential everyday trash bags, $21.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IGA and essential everyday peanut butter, $9.99. IGA and essential everyday vinegar, white 5%, $5.99. Essential everyday pasta, $4.99. IGA and essential everyday cream cheese, $6.49. Mueller's lasagna, $6.99. Soft soap liquid hand soaps, $5.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Hey hon, what's up? Hey girl, I just called you to tell you about this great deal that I'm about to get with an insurance company on my new car. Really? Yes, really, just $200 monthly for the next 12 months. That sounds too good to be true. Does it include windshield coverage? No, that's an additional cost. Does it include personal accident and medical expense coverage? Wait, no, it does not. What about acts of God and riot and strife coverage? No, you know. Please tell me it at least includes some kind of no claims protection. It does not. Well, friend, the math is not mathing at all. With TDC Insurance, you got one rate and all that I mentioned included. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going on the website right now to get a quote. You definitely need to switch to TDC Insurance where the math is mathing.
At TDC Insurance Company, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
Welcome back. Consumer education is said to help families acquire the information needed to make informed decisions in the marketplace. And with this in mind, the Consumer Affairs Department has officially launched its first ever Consumer Education for Kids program in 3 primary schools. That's the St. Paul's, Sadler's, and Dr. William Connor Primary on March 14. It was held as part of the week of activities in observance of World Consumer Rights Day 2023. In addressing the students and teachers at St. Paul's Primary, Minister of Consumer Affairs, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, said it is important for students to be able to prioritize as consumers.
We are trying to educate our population with regard to the rights of consumers here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We want you to know that as you learn from your lesson, there are needs that you may have and there are wants. The lesson is really to properly educate you that when you are demanding things of your parents, there must be things that you need to keep you alive, to advance you. You're better able to learn and prepare you for the future.
Director of the Consumer Affairs Department, Paul Quealy, said it was extremely important to introduce the consumer program in primary schools as students are increasingly targets of advertising and other forms of marketing, so they have to be educated about their rights and responsibilities as consumers.
We recognize that children at your age are being exposed to being the actual purchasers of items such as snacks, video games, and you even have the ability to influence your parents to make certain purchasing decisions. With this in mind, this new classroom initiative will aim to offer consumer awareness to students at an early age in hope of creating a younger, more informed consumer base.
Principal of the St. Paul's Primary School, Joyce Rollins Buchanan, thanked the Consumer Affairs Department for such a timely program.
We are delighted to have you with us to launch the first ever consumer education for kids program in our school. We are thrilled and filled with anticipation with what this program will be doing in the lives of our students and the community at large. This program is extremely timely and relevant for our students as they will become empowered consumers.
World Consumer Rights Day is celebrated on March 15 annually to promote the basic rights of all consumers. This year it is observed under the global theme, Empowering Consumers Through Clean Energy Transitions. And in a related story, consumers in St. Kitts and Nevis are being encouraged to read and research before buying goods or services so that they can make informed decisions and get the best quality available. Communications Officer at the Department of Consumer Affairs, Tricia Rollins, shared the advice on Wednesday's edition of the radio and TV program In Focus, which highlighted consumer-related issues in commemoration of World Consumer Rights Day on March 15.
The responsibility of the consumers will be when they are shopping, read, research. Don't just buy things because they are on sale. This is your responsibility to know what you are buying, because in the event that you buy a product or you purchase a service and you go home and you no longer want it, a business is not entitled to give you a refund just because you changed your mind. So we want the consumers to know that it is their responsibility to read and research the products or services that they are purchasing.
She said with the rights of consumers come a lot of responsibilities as well.
The consumers have the responsibility to be informed, to be educated. The consumers have the responsibility to act with reasonable care and not cause damage to property or harm to other people. So along with their rights, there comes a lot of responsibilities for the consumer.
Paul Quealy, the Director of the Department of Consumer Affairs, stressed that dissatisfied customers must not take matters into their own hands.
When persons encounter an issue with a merchant, do not try to create confusion in the business place. That is something that persons, I think, they need to hear and understand. Most times when we have a case, the businesses refuse to actually deal with the consumers. So when you have an issue with a product, if you cannot get it addressed amicably, try to come to the Consumer Affairs Department and we will address it for you. So
be responsible in that aspect and not create a bigger situation out of something that can be resolved quite easily.
To interact with the Department of Consumer Affairs, persons can visit the offices at Bladen's, or you can call 467-3211 or 1150. Online, you can contact them via the website www.miticca.gov.kn, or you can send a direct message via the Consumer Affairs SKN Facebook page. In Focus airs live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on ZIZ Radio. It's also live streamed on the YouTube channels and Facebook pages of ZIZ and SKNIS. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank has captured the prize for Best Communications Initiative at the 2023 Central Banking Awards for the production of its weekly public education program, ECCB Connects. ECCB Connects captured the Communications Award for its innovation in information sharing, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. The bank also received commendation for the wide range of topics discussed, the diversity of the guests, and the inclusion of citizens from across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union in the programs. Governor of the ECCB, Timothy Antoine, accepted the award on behalf of the bank.
On behalf of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, I am very pleased to accept this prestigious award from Central Banking in recognition of our efforts in the area of communications outreach. Here at ECCB, we are continuously striving to make it plain, to make it simple, to make it accessible to the people that we serve. Indeed, in recent times, we have partnered with our community to bring them in as contributors in creating content for various communication products. And so, we're very pleased with this award. It will energize us as we press forward with these efforts. I hail and recognize my colleague Sherman Kirby, who has led our CRD team not just in the past year, but over the past 7 years, helping us to bring ECCB.
Corporate Relations Officer Karina Phillips Summersall explained the ECCB Connects initiative.
ECCB Connects is an outreach initiative created by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you. Our aim is to share information with you about the role and functions of the ECCB and how the work of the bank affects the lives of the people we serve. We also seek to equip you, our citizens and residents, with information and techniques to help you manage your finances and to break down financial and economic matters that affect us as a currency union. ECCB Connects captured the Communication Award for innovation in the sharing of information, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic.
ECCB Connects was first aired on the 6th of April 2016 and is produced entirely in-house by a small production team led by acting director and a communications specialist in the Corporate Relations Department, Sherman Kirby. Programs are distributed primarily via the ECCB Connect social media platforms and television stations across the region. Coming up in regional news, Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela sign non-disclosure agreement. The details when we return.